Hello, welcome to Spirit Cocktails. I'm your host Pierre, and today we're making another Magic the Gathering cocktail. This is making a lot of Magic the Gathering cocktails if you haven't noticed, and I'm really proud of this one too, because this one's called the Eye of Ugin. If you know from way back with the Rise of Eldrazi set, the idea that Eye of Ugin, that's the spell that brought out those Eldrazi's. It kept pumping them out like crazy, because it allows you to have those Eldrazi, well, basically colorless spells cost 2 less. That's awesome as hell, especially if you're trying to do Emerald's like 15 mana to get out there, or I think Ulamog's like maybe 11 or 12, I forget exactly. But these big legendary creatures, the Titans of the Eldrazi, to get them out, you need as much mana as you possibly can get. So you're pumping out them spawns. You're sitting there, you had the Eye of Ugin in this, maybe a couple of Eye of Ugins, make it even better, because it's that much less you got to pay to get them out there. But anything to get these big ass creatures out there, or the Spawnshire of Ulamog, I forget exactly the name of the card, but basically the one that just takes everything that's outside of the game as far as Eldrazi, puts them right on the field. Annihilator kicks in, everything kicks in, your opponents are dead. So the Eye of Ugin, the reason why I'm doing the Eye of Ugin is because the new set that's coming out, Ugin is coming back as a Planeswalker, and that's something I'm really interested in. I want that card if I can get a hold of it. This new set has a lot of dragon-themed cards, and I have a dragon deck that's primarily undefeated. It's only lost maybe 5 times and has countless wins because it just pumps out them dragons like crazy, because I'm able to get as much mana as I need out as quickly as possible. And if you ever play a dragon deck, the dragons take a lot to get out there, especially if you're doing some of the dragons that have like multiple colors. If you one that may say 5 and then 3 red, just get enough red mana to pump them out there. But if you have one that says maybe 4 and then a black, a red, and a blue, it's a little harder if you don't have that mana out there, or if you have a way of getting that mana out there. That's why my deck is so potent and why it wins so often. And when this new set comes out, beware, it's gonna get worse. So this is actually the Eye of Ugin. It's going to be a fun shot to do. And it's going to start out with the classic idea of what was the Eye of Ugin. Because Eye of Ugin was basically the one thing that held back the Titans, the 3 main Eldrazi legendary creatures, Ulamog and all the other ones. So what we're doing is the only way to break that seal, other than having the Breath of Ugin, is to have the 3 Planeswalkers. So those 3 Planeswalkers, in this case, were Jace, which I'm using Blue Curacao because he's a blue mana Planeswalker. Fireball Whiskey for Chandra Nalaar because, well, she's fire, so Fireball. And then you also have the Shotgun Vol, who's basically a dragon Planeswalker. He controls dragons and everything. He's a human, but he controls dragons. And that is the Dragonfire, which this is actually a little different. It has the dragon fruit, the lychee, the cinnamon. It's definitely, or the peppers rather. So it definitely has a lot of different flavor notes to it, and definitely some heat. You're adding heat, but you're adding Fireball with that. But then also they get the Eye of Ugin, the Breath of Ugin. We're using Viniq Liqueur, and the thing that's pretty damn cool about Viniq is the fact that it has that shimmery effect. If something is going to be holding back the 3 legendary creatures that could basically topple an entire world, you want it to look pretty damn cool. So we're going to use some Viniq with that. Well, as long as I don't break my bottle. It's a Sprite for your chaser. So this is interesting. I can't remember if I said at the beginning of the show this is Friday Night Shooters. But it's Friday Night Shooters. I'll show you exactly how this is made. This is going to be equal parts of your Blue Curacao, your Fireball, and you're going to top at the end your Byejoe Dragonfire. So first thing you want to do is take about 1 part of your Blue Curacao. And on top of that, you want to add 1 part Fireball Whiskey. Then you want to measure out 1 ounce or ½ ounce, 1 part of your Dragonfire liqueur. And you want to layer that on top. There we go. So you want to set that aside, and you want to take 1 ounce of Viniq. Put that in first. Now, one thing that's going to be kind of cool, but unfortunately you may not be able to see it on camera. But if you make this recipe, you'll see exactly the way this looks once you add the Sprite. Try and make a photo for the image graphic that's going to capture that design the way it looks. It is cool as hell. So I'm going to take and add about 8 ounces or so Sprite. Now, you may be able to see that, but see how that glistens and it glows, and it just has that cosmic effect, which is why I love this. Which is why also, I dropped from number 1. I'm still pretty close to number 2. The only one that seems to be beating me in that whole thing, Derek. I beat him too, but he beat me. But I still got more views. See if you can catch up with that. But I'm also 1 month more into it than he was. But yeah, it's building up. I think I'm probably close to about 20,000 views by now. But, man, it is cool as hell. But you want to take that, which is your Eye of Ugin, and then you're taking the 3 Planeswalkers, Chandra Nalaar, Jace Beleran, and Shakam Val, who, with those 3 Planeswalkers combined with the Breath of Ugin, unlock the 3 Eldrazi with the Eye of Ugin. Just drop it in, take a shot. Whew. Tell you one thing, you can taste that fireball. Aside from the bubbly Sprite bubbling in my eyeballs, that was definitely pretty good. But initially you're tasting the Sprite and the Viniq. That's one thing that's definitely going to stand out the most, because Viniq has a very distinct flavor, very fruity, has a Moscato, and it's not really much for alcohol, so it doesn't really add a lot of potency. But once you get that in, then you taste the fireball. You get the slight burn. Well, also my eyeballs, I got a little bit of a burn because of the carbon. But then you're also tasting the dragon fruit, the lychee, the chili pepper, which gives you a little more burn. So you're getting a smooth, fruity beginning to a fiery end. And basically the fiery end is you're releasing the Eldrazi upon the world. And they're going to destroy everything. To a point that they had no choice but to just leave Zendikar to its death. Which is one thing I'm also very interested to see if it happens. Because the way with the Theros and the fact that Kiora came back to Theros to try to build up her army, her powers, to hopefully rid the Zendikar, which is her homeworld, of the Eldrazi. So she came there and did that. And then you have, in the new set, you have Sarkhan. He's there. You had Shakam Val in the new one, the Tarkir. So you have all the Planeswalkers that are of this story. And Ugin. Ugin definitely, that's a card I want to have, and it's freaking potent as hell. I've seen a past one, which I believe was actually faked. But if it was real as hell, that'd be nice. It brought every Planeswalker outside the game. That had to have been fake. Which it was. Because now the new one's a little bit different. But you have all the Planeswalkers in the new sets that are needed for this. The only one that hasn't showed up yet, I believe Jace hasn't been in the new set. Or Chandra. Possibly after the cons block is over. We may have them. I'm hoping that this next block is going to be Return to Zendikar, because they did Return to Ravnica. That was awesome. They brought back all those play mechanics that basically made the game and just made them a little bit better. So if they bring back the Zendikar, it brings back the Eldrazi. As long as they nerf Annihilator. The Annihilator effect, I had so many games when my friend had an Eldrazi deck, I had to basically say, you know what, screw it, I'm done. Because Annihilator is that annoying. You can have the best deck out there. You could basically have the game. They play an Annihilator deck or an Eldrazi deck, they're getting rid of your cards either as soon as a creature comes out in the field or if they attack. So, Annihilator, yeah, screw that. Nerf it, get some different aspect. Maybe have a level up feature for the Eldrazi. I'm really curious to see exactly if they bring back the Eldrazi, how they'll do it. I believe all three of the legendary Eldrazi are still alive. I don't think they actually died in the original lore of Zendikar. Basically, that's one of the reasons why they had to leave Zendikar. So I'm really curious to see what happens, or if it happens, with the Return to Zendikar block. And I hope you enjoyed this cocktail. It's a very fun cocktail. It's very, very flavorful. It has a lot of citrus notes, a lot of heat, lychee, which I still hate lychee, and a lot of fruit flavor to it. It's good. It's a really good visual appeal to it, and you're sure to love it. And also, like us on Facebook, Kind of Spirit Cocktails. Let me know below what you think of this cocktail and what you think about the whole Zendikar block. Do you want to see that come back? I guarantee you play Magic the Gathering, you do. You want to see it come back. Eye of Ugin, it's only the beginning. And they're going to come back, and Eldrazi is going to be there, and you're going to have Ugin. So, as always, drink responsibly.